What's up, guys and gals? Bentley Michaels here. Welcome to another week of my voiceover vlog. Thank you all for tuning in to the past weeks. Had to take a week off, got really busy with some stuff, but during that time, I started collecting some questions that you guys had been asking me pretty frequently, either through Instagram or my website, some even in the comments of the YouTube video. So today is the Q&A episode. Let's roll the credits. Hi, I'm Bentley Michaels, and I'm a voiceover actor who works from his home studio. What's a voiceover actor, you're asking yourself? Well, I have the answer. You probably know voiceover as the movie trailer guy or the voice of the cartoons that you and your kids watch. Most of my work isn't that exciting or glamorous, but this vlog might help answer the questions of what is it that you do exactly, or what does it take to get into the business? This is my VO show. Title: A Work in Progress. Our first question comes to us via a YouTube comment. Alan Laug. He says, "Hey Bentley, digging your vlog, brother." Thank you very much. Quick question, what kind of mic are you using? This is an MXL 990. I've used this mic for, close to 8 years now. So, the right EQ settings and just a tad bit of compression. And when you actually get in here and actually talk on it, instead of shouting at it from a couple feet away, it sounds pretty good. So I hope that answers your question, Alan. Thanks so much. Our next question comes to us via Daniel O84myroberts at hotmail.com. He says, "Why do you always wear plain black shirts?" It is true. I do love a good plain black shirt. I mean, there's a pocket for your phone. I don't know. I just don't like a lot of shirts with designs and stuff. It sends my brain into overload. I just, plain black shirt, put it on, boom, off you go. I hear geniuses wear the same thing every day. Like Einstein, and Obama's got a black, a gray, and a blue suit, and it's just so he can put it on, get to work. Now, I'm not saying I'm a genius, but I do own a lot of plain black shirts. Also, shout out to the best roommate ever for the Guild of Calamitous Intent sweatshirt. Maybe a little shout out from Brock Sampson there, Gene. How you doing, pal? Okay, this next question I actually get a lot just in life. As soon as people find out that you do voiceovers and you kind of explain to them what it is, this is an awesome question. And I actually have a really cool example of this. I'll tell you my thing first, and then I'll show you something that I sent off to a big-time voiceover actor years ago and got a really great response. So my thought is this. This is what I've been told. This is what I found. It doesn't really matter what kind of voice you have. It may sort of dictate later on a niche that you get into, but as long as you can, read copy, in a good way and make it friendly, or make it, and actually, it is called voice acting. So you have to look at the copy and sort of dissect it, which is what we talked about on the previous week's vlog. I sort of do that with the script. So realistically, what can you do? If you have a laptop, if it's a PC, you can download Audacity for free. If you have a Mac, it comes with GarageBand. This mic is like $50, and then you got, $20 thing here, $50 thing here, $20 cord, $80, USB microphone. Make sure you have phantom power. And if you have a quiet area to record, it's like $300, $400. Years ago, I emailed this voiceover actor named Roger Craig Smith. He's on Regular Show. He's the GOAT on Regular Show. He took over as Batman in one of the Arkham games when they sort of younged down the cast and that sort of thing. I found his website, and because somebody had told me about him and said, I know this guy, he'll talk to you. And so I emailed him, sent him to my MySpace page where I had my friend make me a demo. and he listened and he wrote me back. So here's some of the excerpts of things that he said to me. "Knowing that you'll make mistakes, but that talent trumps all will keep you going. If you're honest with yourself, can take criticism, can accept that it takes time, and keep falling forward, you will reach your goal." And this is good. He talks about my demo. Because it was like 6 minutes. It was just me doing a bunch of weird voices and like silly scenes that I'd written together. "Your demo reel on your MySpace page shows great range. That's awesome. It might be a little long and it's lacking in production value. However, it sounds exactly like the first demo I made back in college, which was cool to hear. And just like my first demo, it might be just enough to get your foot in the door. It wasn't. With some small production companies willing to work with you, they didn't care. Again, check out the reels on Voice Bank, and you'll get an idea of what a great reel sound like. It's true. Go on there, and you go, wow, I've got a lot to work for. But it's also very motivating. Like he said, you can't let it get you down. And this is really good right here. The reel doesn't necessarily get you the work. The audition does. But your reel is your business card. It shows that you're taking this serious. So make sure your reel is no joke. And now I think I have a pretty decent reel. It took me a long time, but now I have it from all previous clients of mine, like AT&T and Comcast and NBC, Walgreens commercial. So all of those names are now like on the reel, and it took me a while to get that. You just gotta stick it out. So that's my advice. As Michael Bluth says, keep your head down, power through. This next question comes to me via Instagram from ETR_films. I do some voices for him on his YouTube channel. He does Lego stop motion stuff. It's really, really good. Check it out on YouTube. What is your least favorite thing about voice acting? Voice acting for you, ETR Films. No, I'm kidding. There's no one specific thing. I would probably say if it's like a longer form thing, like because after this I have to narrate like a 10-page e-learning thing, editing those. Because I am a slightly dyslexic, so I'll go back and be like, I don't even know, that's not even a sentence that's written down, and I got to get back in here. So probably editing myself. I'm always so happy when it's a session where it's like, just send us the file and we'll find the best stuff. I'm like, yes, awesome. So that's probably my least favorite thing, is just hearing my own stupid voice. For it's like, it took me however long to record the 10 pages. Now I got to go back, and it's probably going to take at least double that time to edit out stuff, because I get twisted up in the mouth kind of easily sometimes. So thank you for the question and bringing back my worst nightmare. Let's see here. Oh, this is a good one. Building an impression and character voice. That's interesting you lump those two things together, because like Hank Azaria, who's Moe and Chief Wiggum on The Simpsons, he's a bunch of other characters too, but, he has famously said, his Moe, they wanted sort of like a Dog Day Afternoon Al Pacino, but then they said, make it raspier. And so that's how he got Moe. No, that's a terrible Moe, but, it's like him doing a bad impression. And then I can't remember who he said Chief Wiggum was, but it was like an old-time movie actor or whatever. It might have been the guy that, listen here, you mugs. That's a great way to get character voices. Like if you can sort of do an impression of somebody and then can kind of make it silly, but it's not always about a silly voice. It is about the script and what's on the page. Now, as far as building an impression, it's really great with podcasts how many celebrities are on podcasts, because it's just a long-form conversation, and you can just hear how they would naturally react to, things, and you can really hone in on their voice. I do it while I'm cooking, or like while mowing the lawn or doing yard work. I'll just be out there talking to myself or something like that. It's important to know where your voice sits in the, the sort of grand scheme of things. I'm not going to try to do, high-pitched little kid voices all that much, or, really, really girly voices. That being said, I do have a cool cartoon project in which I play a little kid coming up soon. More on that later. Nick Offerman. Ron Swanson on Parks and Rec. He's a new one I'm working on, because we were, my wife and I were watching it, and I was like, oh, he's sort of right in here now. If you listen from my normal voice, my voice sits farther back in my throat. But, to sort of start to find his, I sort of clench my throat a little bit and direct the air sort of behind the nose. It's not super nasally like this where it's all behind the nose, but just a little bit. So it's almost like you have a cold in a way. Also, then you have to sort of look at the physical, how is his face? He's squinting a lot. Also, his upper lip is longer than mine, because he's got that sweet stash on it, and it kind of goes up and under, so now you're sort of in a place where, I want all of the bacon and eggs. I know you think I mean a lot, but I mean all of the bacon and eggs. Please and thank you. And then another important thing, can you laugh as a person? That's another really great thing for an impression, because Ron, or Nick in this case, has a really unique laugh. It's almost like Mark Hamill's Joker, hello, Batso, so wonderful to see you. And obviously, practice, some voices come to you fairly naturally, but others, you really got to work on it. My biggest thing I've been working on for really solidly for like the last year is my movie trailer voice. I don't get a lot of work as a movie trailer guy, but that is something that down the line, if someone ever asks, I want to be able to bust it out. And, obviously the two big names, Don LaFontaine, the creator of In a World. And then where my voice sits a little bit more naturally, it was this guy named Hal Douglas.
Hal Douglas has a little bit softer of a voice, and even when he's being intense, it's just, Don was more in your face, and
Hal's voice makes a little bit more sense. So hey, don't do that. But I guess the big thing is know your voice and know, what your limitations are, but then work within your field. And then as you get better at like this thing, all of a sudden you'll realize, oh, this thing over here actually makes more sense now because, you worked at it, just like anything else, really. Now, I get asked this question actually quite a bit. How did you get your agent? It's a recent thing. And there are my dogs saying hello. Mailman must be here. What a bunch of stereotypes, right? I didn't have one for the longest time, and it just happened because I made this celebrity impressions video. He saw that, believed in me, and then started saying, we could get you ADR work, where you impersonate the other person if they're not available, that sort of thing. So far, that hasn't happened. I've been mainly calling kids for their birthdays. But fingers crossed, I get there one day. But there are tons of different ways that you can go about it. Just if you live in a big city or you're near a big city, you could look up talent agents and then see what their submission process is. Follow it to the letter, because if they don't want an MP3, they want a link, or if they don't want a link, they want an MP3, make sure you give them exactly what you want, because if you can't follow those instructions, how can they represent you and assume that you're going to follow, other people's instructions when it's, dealing with a lot of money? But you don't necessarily need an agent these days. You can get a lot of work. There's pay-to-play sites. There's Fiverr. I'm having actually some really great success over there. And of course, good old-fashioned marketing yourself to, video production houses, audiobook places, all sorts of stuff. But good luck to you all. Hopefully you'll have more success than I did submitting to people. I'll actually say goodbye to you guys now because I have footage that sort of answers this question. But thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Well, you'll see me. I won't see you. But the question is, has your agent ever been a sleazeball, like a real Ari Gold type? #entourage. Yeah. That's from old friend of the show, LL Deckard. Yes, LL. I do have footage of that, and here you are. The money's great. It's awesome, but it just seems like it's been all about the money recently. Like, I just want to have a little bit of fun.
Bentley, I'm your agent, okay? I got your back. I get you the gigs that pay your bills. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know when it's ever been about just the money.
Oh, really? Interesting. Well, here, I have an example for you right now. Look, I think you need a better, vetting process because that last guy was super aggressive.
Yeah, look, I gotta talk to you about that. I received an email that you didn't deliver on that birthday call.
I totally did. That guy was a dick. He was.
What was the number you called?
The 370-9363.
No. 9362. You called the wrong number. That's a classic move. Hey, you think we could bill that guy?
What? No.
I'm gonna look into it. Susan.
See what I mean?
I don't know what you're talking about. Seems like I went over and above as an agent.
Okay.